In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NFL games happening on December 16, 2023, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 NFL games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Minnesota Vikings versus Cincinnati Bengals. The upcoming intra-conference clash between the Minnesota Vikings and the Cincinnati Bengals is set to take place on Saturday, December 16, with the Bengals hosting the Vikings. As the regular season winds down, both teams find themselves in a crucial position, vying for playoff spots within their respective conferences. The Cincinnati Bengals, with an overall record of 7-6, have demonstrated resilience despite facing challenges, notably losing star quarterback Joe Burrow to a season-ending injury. Currently occupying the 10th spot in the competitive American Football Conference, the Bengals share their record with 4 other teams, highlighting the fierce competition for postseason berths. On the other side, the Minnesota Vikings, also standing at 7-6, hold the 6th spot in the National Football Conference, securing a playoff position. In their recent matchup against the Raiders, the Vikings secured a hard-fought 3-0 victory, overcoming offensive struggles throughout the game. Despite their challenges, the Vikings managed to outgain Las Vegas by a total of 231 to 202 yards and forced 3 turnovers. This win followed 2 narrow losses to Chicago and Denver by a combined 3 points, showcasing the team's competitive spirit. The Vikings' offensive output averages 20.5 points per game, with 246.3 passing yards and 95.2 rushing yards. Nick Mullins, the quarterback, has contributed 83 passing yards, while Ty Chandler has rushed for 203 yards and TJ Hawkinson has been a reliable target with 85 receptions for 839 yards and 5 touchdowns. Meanwhile, the Bengals are coming off a convincing 34-14 victory against the Colts, marking their 2nd consecutive win. Despite being tied at halftime, Cincinnati dominated the second half, outscoring Indianapolis 20-0. Jake Browning, stepping in for the injured Burrow, has thrown for 924 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions, while Joe Mixon has been a force on the ground with 768 rushing yards and 7 scores. Jamar Chase has been a standout receiver with 89 catches for 1,092 yards and 7 touchdowns. Looking ahead, the Bengals have demonstrated offensive prowess, scoring over 30 points in their last 2 victories. Although they face challenges in the running game, Browning's effective quarterbacking has been crucial. Conversely, the Vikings have struggled offensively, particularly in their last 2 games, where they scored a combined 13 points. With Nick Mullins making his first start of the season and Justin Jefferson returning from injury, the Vikings face a significant offensive challenge against the Bengals. The Bengals' recent success, including surprising wins against the Jaguars and a dominant performance against the Colts, has propelled them back into playoff contention. In contrast, the Vikings' offensive struggles raise concerns about their ability to compete, especially with a backup quarterback at the helm. If the Vikings cannot address their scoring woes, the game may not be closely contested. The Bengals' offense, led by Browning and complemented by Mixon, Chase, Boyd, and Higgins, poses a significant challenge for the Vikings' defense. Both teams, relying on backup quarterbacks, enter the game with playoff aspirations, making the matchup even more critical. As for the side pick, considering the Bengals' recent form and the Vikings' offensive challenges, the Cincinnati Bengals to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full-game side pick. Delving into the offensive struggles of the Vikings, particularly with backup quarterback Nick Mullins and their recent inability to surpass 250 yards of offense in the last 2 games, it becomes evident that they are facing an uphill battle. Scoring only 13 total points in 2 games is a cause for concern and underscores the need for a spark in their offense. The Vikings' reliance on their defense, allowing only 18 points per game, is a silver lining amidst their offensive struggles. However, facing the explosive Bengals offense, which has been on a roll in the past 2 games, the Vikings may find it challenging to keep up. Despite the Bengals' offensive prowess, a shift towards a more balanced approach with an emphasis on Joe Mixon is anticipated. With Browning's comfort in his 3 starts and the Bengals boasting a 2-1 record with him, the Vikings' defense may face difficulties containing the multifaceted Bengals attack. Considering the potential challenges both teams face on a short week with backup quarterbacks, the overall expectation is a low-scoring game. The under has a strong historical trend, with a 5-3 record when the Bengals play at home and a 5-2 record when the Vikings play on the road. Therefore, the under the projected total is our full game total pick, as this game is likely to be a defensive battle with both teams striving to stay in playoff contention. Pittsburgh Steelers versus Indianapolis Colts. A series of disappointing losses from both the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Indianapolis Colts a week ago have significantly altered their positions in the highly contested American Football Conference playoff race. These setbacks have pushed both teams back into the middle of the pack, with Pittsburgh and Indianapolis currently occupying the 6th and 7th playoff spots in the conference. However, the precarious nature of their standing is highlighted by 4 other teams sharing the same 7-6 straight-up record, and a pivotal head-to-head meeting between 2 of these teams scheduled in Indianapolis this Saturday. The outcome of this clash could potentially eliminate one of these sides from playoff contention, intensifying the pressure on both teams to perform flawlessly. Compounding the challenge, both teams are set to play with backup quarterbacks this week. The Steelers will once again rely on quarterback Mitch Trubisky, as Kenny Pickett remains sidelined due to injury. Last week, Trubisky's performance against the New England Patriots resulted in a 21-18 defeat, where he completed 22 of 35 passes for 190 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. The Steelers' offense, averaging a modest 16 points per game, faces additional hurdles with the uncertain status of wide receiver Deontay Johnson, who is nursing a knee injury. On the Colts side, quarterback Gardner Minshew takes the reins once more after a challenging outing against the Cincinnati Bengals. The Colts offense struggled, managing only 14 points in a 34-14 loss. Minshew completed 26 of 39 passes for 240 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. The absence of star running back Jonathan Taylor, sidelined with a thumb injury, places additional pressure on Minshew to deliver a standout performance. The Colts, averaging 24 points per game, rely on the offensive prowess of Minshew to compensate for a defense ranked 29th in the NFL. Despite both teams coming off losses, the Steelers find themselves in a more precarious position with Trubisky at the helm. Their offensive struggles persist, averaging less than 17 points per game, and the absence of Pickett further complicates their situation. In contrast, the Colts, despite their recent loss, had previously secured 4 consecutive victories. Minshew's steady performance, along with the absence of major offensive disruptions, positions the Colts more favorably for success. Looking ahead, the Steelers face a challenging stretch with 3 of their final 4 games on the road against formidable opponents vying for playoff spots or positioning. The recent home losses to Arizona and New England have raised concerns about the Steelers' ability to rebound and compete at a high level. In this matchup of backup quarterbacks, the coaching dynamics play a crucial role. Steelers coach Mike Tomlin, a defensive strategist, has been unable to address offensive deficiencies effectively, ranking 27th in scoring. In contrast, Colts coach Shane Steichen, known for his offensive acumen, has transformed the Colts into a top 10 scoring offense, despite challenges like the absence of Jonathan Taylor. The evident frustration among Steelers receivers and a lackluster atmosphere in Pittsburgh further undermine their prospects. The upcoming game against the Colts is seen as a critical juncture for the Steelers' season. The recent losses at home to Arizona and New England, coupled with ongoing offensive struggles, suggest a downward trend for Pittsburgh. The challenging road ahead, combined with a lack of offensive consistency, raises doubts about their ability to secure victories down the stretch, irrespective of Kenny Pickett's return. Considering the circumstances, the prediction leans towards the Colts. With a more stable offense, less drama, and an offensive-minded coach, the Indianapolis Colts to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. The recent overtrend in Indianapolis games is noteworthy, but the unique challenges posed by the Steelers' offensive struggles could lead to a lower-scoring affair. The combination of the Colts' 8th-ranked offense and the 29th-ranked defense has made the over a popular choice in recent games. However, the prospect of Pittsburgh struggling to score, coupled with their reliance on a defense that has kept them in games but failed to convert turnovers into points, suggests a lower-scoring outcome. The Steelers' pattern of going under in 10 of their 13 games, coupled with their reliance on a strong defense, further supports the prediction of a low-scoring affair. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Denver Broncos versus Detroit Lions. The highly anticipated clash between the Denver Broncos and the Detroit Lions is set to unfold in a thrilling inter-conference showdown on Saturday night. Recent performances reveal that the Broncos secured a crucial road victory against the Chargers in their previous outing, while the Lions suffered a setback on the road against the Bears. It's worth noting that these two teams last crossed paths in 2021, with the Broncos emerging victorious with a commanding 38-10 scoreline. Denver finds itself on the road for the third consecutive game, showcasing resilience and determination that has solidified its status as one of the hottest teams in the NFL. Boasting 7 wins in their last 10 games, the Broncos are making a strong push for a wildcard spot in the competitive American Football Conference, currently standing just outside the last wildcard position. After a 22-19 road loss to the Texans earlier this month, Denver bounced back impressively with a convincing 24-7 win against the Chargers, defying the odds as 3-point underdogs. Notably, the Broncos have covered the spread in 3 of their last 5 games. Russell Wilson, the seasoned quarterback for the Broncos, rebounded from a subpar performance against the Texans by delivering 224 passing yards against the Chargers in the previous week. Despite posting less than 230 passing yards in 3 consecutive games, Wilson has accumulated 2609 passing yards this season, maintaining a commendable 23-8 touchdown-to-interception ratio. Additionally, his contribution extends beyond the air, adding 310 yards on the ground. The Broncos' offensive arsenal includes a potent running game, with Javon Williams amassing 66 rushing yards in the last outing, bringing his season total to 650 rushing yards on a solid 3.8 yards per carry. However, Courtland Sutton, a key receiver, has seen a dip in production with only 8 receptions in his last 3 games, accumulating 699 receiving yards on the season. Despite the offensive output scoring 24 or fewer points in 4 of their last 5 games, the Broncos have managed a commendable 4-1 record in that span. Offensively, the Broncos have undergone a remarkable transformation, steadily improving after a shaky start to the season. While they were ranked last in several categories after the opening month, the squad has limited opponents to 20 or fewer points in 3 of their last 4 games. Notably, the pass defense is currently ranked 24th, with the rush defense holding the last position. Denver's average scoring stands at 22 points for the season, placing them 15th, with a concession of 24 points per game, ranking them 24th. On the other side of the field, the Detroit Lions have experienced a slight stumble, dropping 2 of their last 3 games. Despite this, they maintain a 2-game lead atop the National Football Conference North, with 4 games remaining in the regular season. The Lions' recent performances include a 33-28 road victory against the Saints and a disappointing 28-13 road loss to the Bears. Notably, the Lions have covered the spread in just 1 of their last 4 games. Jared Goff, the Lions' quarterback, has displayed inconsistency in recent outings, managing only 161 passing yards with 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions in the previous week. Goff's season stats stand at 34-49 passing yards with a 21-10 touchdown-to-interception ratio, having thrown 5 picks in his last 4 games. The Lions' ground game is shared between David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs, with Montgomery amassing 770 rushing yards on 4.8 yards per rush and Gibbs contributing an impressive 692 yards in his rookie season. Amon-Ra St. Brown, a key receiver, has been held in check recently, posting just 21 receiving yards in the last week but accumulating 63 receiving yards on the season. Despite a robust offense that has surpassed 30 points in 3 of their last 5 games, the Lions' defense has struggled, conceding at least 28 points in 4 of their last 5 games. The pass defense is marked 19th, while the rush defense holds the 9th position. Statistically, Detroit averages 26 points per game, ranking 2nd in the league, while conceding an average of 24 points, positioning them 26th. As the game approaches, the Detroit Lions, with the advantage of being the superior team over a larger sample size and playing at home, are considered the favorites. However, recent concerns about the Lions' defense and Goff's inconsistent performance raise questions about their ability to secure a win. On the other hand, the Denver Broncos, riding the momentum of 6 wins in their last 7 games, present a compelling case as underdogs. With a 4.5-point spread in their favor, the Broncos are poised to keep things close here and potentially secure an outright victory. So the Denver Broncos to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Examining the defensive vulnerabilities of the Lions, who have struggled with injuries throughout the season, particularly evident in their recent game against the Bears, there are concerns about their ability to contain the Denver offense. The absence of key defensive players like Emmanuel Moseley, James Houston, and Alan McNeil has created opportunities for opposing quarterbacks to exploit the Lions' defense. Russell Wilson, though not as mobile as some quarterbacks, could capitalize on the Lions' historical struggles against running quarterbacks. Denver's offensive consistency, highlighted by scoring at least 21 points in 4 of their last 5 games, including a standout performance against the Browns, adds to the confidence in their ability to exploit the Lions' defensive vulnerabilities. The Lions' defense, giving up an average of 30 points in their last 5 games, further supports the expectation of an exciting matchup. Moreover, Detroit's offensive prowess, ranking in the top 8 in the NFL in various categories and registering at least 31 points in 3 of their last 5 games, suggests they can contribute significantly to the overall point tally. As long as Goff minimizes mistakes, the Lions' offense is well positioned to exploit a Broncos defense that ranks 30th in the NFL in total yards conceded per game. Considering these factors, the total number of points in the game is expected to surpass the projected total, with both teams showcasing offensive efficiency and defensive vulnerabilities. A high-scoring shootout is anticipated. Therefore, over the projected total is our full game total pick, adding an extra layer of excitement to what promises to be an electrifying matchup between the Denver Broncos and the Detroit Lions. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.